It's an important decision. I would not hold an election in a period where few people actually participate. So I would anticipate any election being called would be a high anticipated turnout where the majority or the largest representation of our voters are weighing in. And that would typically be a November governor's cycle or a November presidential cycle. I would not hold an election in a period where few people actually participate.
And we're being asked to vote right now. They gave us 60 freaking days to do our own homework and math to look at this, and that offended me. There's no way to get it right. And there's absolutely irresponsible, in my personal opinion, for the township to rush this, put it on there, give us a bunch of information that's not accurate, and then say, don't worry about year 5 or year 10 or year 20. I need a 20-year plan if you want to do this, because we're about to screw up something that's pretty wonderful, and that doesn't sit well, in my opinion.
Well, obviously, I'm hoping it passes, so we haven't spent a considerable amount of time figuring out what we may or may not do.
Now, in my business, if I was to go out and make a multi-billion-dollar investment, and we're not that cool and not that big, the last thing we would do is come out and say, well, let's go change the secret sauce that made us #1, and we're going to take a great big guess and hope that in year 5 we're cool, and in year 10 it's still cool.
It's an important decision. And
well, obviously, I'm hoping it passes, so we haven't spent a considerable amount of time figuring out what we may or may not do.
I would not hold an election in a period where few people actually participate.
I thought that it would be a good idea for staff to bring us a policy change. Yes, particularly bringing, well, not particularly, but additionally bringing materials in like signs that are for or against something, because I was surprised to see that the signs that came into that particular meeting were, in fact, while I was talking, I was looking at a big against sign, and I brought it to their attention, and it was moved into the hall, but it certainly wasn't taken out of the building, or those signs. It was more than one. So it just needs to be cleaned up.
It's an important decision, and
well, obviously, I'm hoping it passes, so we haven't spent a considerable amount of time figuring out what we may or may not do.
I would not hold an election in a period where few people actually participate.
So the question was, there's a 5-year model out there, and what happens in year 6? I didn't hear an answer to it, but I want to start with this. If you actually look at what is public out there, it's only through 2025. If we vote to become a city, that's the end of 21. So all we actually have to work with is a 4-year plan. And the 4-year plan shows that in year 4, we're running a major deficit and we're going south. Also, we will have burned a lot of those cash reserves that we've built up. We will have spent money on a lot of these things that we need to for our down payment to become a city. And it's an unknown what happens in the 5th year, because we don't even have that.